We will move on to the Chancellor's reports.
Thank you, Madam President. The first thing I'll do is that we have, is the 40th anniversary of PCTV, and we have just about a 3-minute item to show you.
Late in 1979, a group of Laney faculty and students brought a proposal for a student-run television station to the board. Initially skeptical, the board members saw the students' passion and professionalism and eventually approved a 2-year trial. The new TV station would provide information about the Peralta Colleges to the public, recruit students, offer telecourses for credit, and foster local community origination of TV programs while serving as a lab for media students. Student employees and volunteers modeled the station operations and management after those of a broadcast station. The Media Communications Department and PCTV had a close relationship.
Peralta Colleges Television is unique in the country because it was the first higher education access channel to be operated and managed by communication students.
The department and PCTV work so much together, it's absolutely amazing. The station has, number one, helped us place people. We have such a high record of placement as compared to the older days. We are constantly placing people at every major station in the Bay Area, half the cable stations throughout the state of California.
The Media Communications Department provided the channel with student volunteers and eventually employees. A modest control room was set up in an office on the 3rd floor of the theater at Laney College, and broadcasting commenced on February 11, 1980. Programming consisted of courses for credit and student productions. Students wired the stage to broadcast live shows and used the TV studio on the 3rd floor of the theater for live and recorded programs. The student-run era lasted about a decade. Delivery of instruction via telecourses and providing information about college programs defined the 90s.
I see PCTV as really the in-house advertising agency for the Peralta Colleges.
Students remained involved in productions dealing with social issues and worked shifts in a master control room. In the digital era, Peralta TV began to show more college events, documentaries, and sports. Currently, about 40% of airtime is devoted to Peralta-related content. Videos display across a variety of digital platforms, in addition to on-air cable TV. The Peralta YouTube channel recently passed 1.3 million views and hosts over 700 videos of Peralta College events. Video will remain an important part of communication strategy well into the future. Peralta TV reinforces our district's local identity and provides social and cultural capital for the community we serve.
Peralta TV, programs that matter.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, so happy birthday, PCTV. And Mark, did you want to make any comments about it before?
Yes, I would. I would like to thank Jim Stein, our resident historian from Peralta TV, and also Angel Hunter, our producer, who did the editing for that.
Yeah. I need to know if any of those brunette-haired people in the video were Jim. All right. Next, I'd like to immediately go to the colleges, if I can turn it over to the colleges and have Dr. Kuni speak on behalf of Dr. Budd, who is away because of a family emergency.
Thank you. Good evening. I have 6 points that I wanted to share with you. Since Obi did an amazing job talking about the students and then the events, that I'm just going to skip that, and I would like to share with you what's been going on at the college. So thank you to Dr. Shears and Associate Dean De Mujer Flores. They have led the process to submit the HSI grant for BCC. So that went in last week, and then we're hoping to have a good result from that. Secondly, Chicana Latina Foundation hosted last week a scholarship and mentorship workshop at BCC Transfer and Career Center. The first time ever, and it was a first time ever event, and it was packed with students. So, and then including males who were looking for an opportunities, background information, and then the Chicana Latina Foundation is a nonprofit organization that promotes professional and leadership development for Latinas, and but then the Latino male counterparts were also in support for the event, and then they were present. And then as the fastest growing population in California, Latinas are the future, and a young, multicultural, and an entrepreneurial Latina leadership group was gathered, and then they were looking to set goals for the 2030. So that was a wonderful event. Also, BCC and BUSD, City of Berkeley College, and then a career week will be starting on March the 9th. And then BCC will be partnering with the citywide college and career week to raise awareness of the multiple pathways to careers and college. So activities include a college swag day, and then also community college fair by Berkeley High School, family information night at Longfellow Middle School as well. And this weekend, our multimedia arts program shined again. At BCC last week, we hosted the Bay Area International Children's Film Festival. And then our Art students participated in an annual partnership with filmmakers from Pixar and Disney and Chabot Science Center. So the event was held at BCC, and then for a decade at this festival, our students really actively provide filmmaking workshops to the general public and community members, and editing films. They demonstrate the editing of the films and then seeing their work screen at the Megadome and then other theaters as well. So during the festival, our students also employed the multimedia skills in to interview filmmakers from around the world. And this time, we were able to welcome Ben Zeitlin. He's the director of The Beast of the Southern Wild. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but then that was nominated for 4 Oscar nominations. So they're doing a really great job being, partnershiping with the East Bay communities and also Pixar and Disney. So students are really doing a work-based learning at its core. Finally, last Thursday, the group of Berkeley collaborators who have been working on the Berkeley's 2020 vision gathered at UC Berkeley Chancellor's office. And then the Chancellor, Dr. Carol Christ, hosted this meeting. And around the table were Mayor Jesse Aragon and in his team, former Mayor Tom Bates, Berkeley Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Brent Stevens, and then Berkeley Community Foundation, Berkeley Public School Foundation, and UC Berkeley Community Relations and Engagement team. So at BCC, we have been working with this Vision 2020 for City of Berkeley with the K through 14 partners and then also foundation members. And now that it is it is now 2020, and then the group is regrouping to ensure that educational equity is met, and especially focusing on reducing the equity gap or eliminating the equity gap amongst African American and Latino students. So we just started the conversation around the table about recommitting to the 2030 vision for Berkeley community. And finally, I will be going to Moreno Valley College next week to do the accreditation visit, and this is really to gain some experiences in this new standard so that we can learn the behind-the-scene things, so that we can share with the 3 other colleges, and we can just make sure that our accreditation process, this ISO process, is going to be a successful one for all colleges and then the district. So that concludes with my report.
Well, good evening, trustees and colleagues and community members. I'm pleased to give a report for Laney College. First, I'd like to share that our Laney College Ethnic Studies instructor, Dana Grisby, has been chosen as a scholar in the Curriculum Development Program for the Fulbright Hayes Group Project abroad. She will have the opportunity to travel to South Africa with a team of educators for 5 weeks this summer. The focus of the project is transforming inequality and the examination of race, class, gender, health, and social justice movements in South Africa. This is a really exciting opportunity to share skills and best practices with educators, healthcare professionals, and activists in South Africa. And really the outcome will be a more diverse and innovative curriculum with an international scope here when she comes back to Laney College and the Peralta Community College District. So we're really pleased by this announcement. I wanted to share just a little interesting story. Last month, you guys, the trustees approved a long-term facilities agreement we've had with the Laney Flea Market, and it's been named the Laney Flea Market for over 30 years. I mean, it's quite an institution in the community, and while it's been an ancillary great partner for us for many years, I went to the Local Heroes event in my neighborhood, so I walked down to the elementary school in my neighborhood here in Oakland because Mark Razan, as I shared with you last board, was being honored as a local hero for District 4. But when I was sitting there, I was really heartened, quite frankly, by a woman who actually received the award. Her name is Laura Romo, and she's the owner of Romo's Cafe. And they had this big screen with pictures and then like a background of these individuals. And she actually got her start at the Laney Flea Market. Her name, she said, "My name is Laura Romo. I'm Mexican. I arrived in the United States at the age of 12. I am the youngest of 7 brothers. I started in the coffee business 10 years ago, selling coffee in the Laney Flea Market with a small space at 3 a.m. to prepare to open at 6 a.m. So I got an opportunity to put a coffee shop in at this address, 5395 Bancroft Avenue, Oakland, California, 94601. And at Romo's Cafe, we have meetings for the neighborhood and small businesses. I was delighted to know, again, right, the strength of the way we extend our goodwill and our service in support of this community. And that's a great cafe in District 4, so I hope you all will attend. And my last quick highlight is really, I had shared with the trustees that we were heartened to receive money from the Peralta Colleges Foundation and actually through Comcast to award housing, homeless and housing insecure scholarships for students. And so we did at the beginning of the year put out an application. And I want to tell you, frankly, that I do not believe this community really understands the sheer breadth and depth of the homeless and housing insecurity crisis in our communities and what these individuals look like, these human beings and what it means. And what I mean is to say I read over 22 applications in a very short period. We had a week turnaround. But the applications ranged from a individual whose wife died of cancer in his late 50s, could not pay bills, right? Could not actually pay the bills, became homeless, and actually is living in a van and came back to Laney College to get their future, to a single father who lives with multiple kids whose spouse was actually had to take, with dealing with drugs and other things, and is actually living paycheck to paycheck trying to make it in the home, from, a young student who is dealing with homelessness as well. So we have this range of the faces of who it is, from formerly incarcerated students. So it's really, I gave you a little brief of the 6 students that we awarded just recently, but I thought it was important to highlight one student individually. Her name is Victoria Hughes. She's pursuing a degree at Laney College to transfer and receive the Master of Architecture Design with a focus on environmentally sustainable design. While Hughes is undecided as to where they want to transfer to, they have eyes on UC Berkeley and Cal Poly. Hughes currently lives in a 2005 Ford van with their 5-year-old cat Daisy. Hughes explains that it's especially challenging to do homework and study in their van in extreme temperatures due to poor insulation. This scholarship will help by providing the means to better insulate my van, as well as complete my solar system so that it can use a small space heater in the winter nights and a fan during the hot summers, says Hughes. By regulating the temperatures, they're able to sleep better, charge devices such as laptops and their phone, as well as prepare food safely, which in turn allows them to focus more on their studies. When talking about their goals for the future, Hughes says, I want to design durable buildings and structures, both commercial and residential, that will work with the local climate environment they are built in rather than competing with it. We are honored to have these students trust us and come to our college and our district community to be served. So it's my deep appreciation to them for being willing to share their stories, and to Comcast for recognizing the work that we need to do. $1,000 doesn't go a long way, but it certainly is something, and we could do more together. My thanks.
Good evening, Chancellor, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, and community members. As Black History draws to a close, I had the opportunity to speak to our students this afternoon at an event hosted by Sankofa coordinator Tahita Anderson and Counselor Derek Ross. It was well attended and thought-provoking, and what I encouraged the students to bear in mind was this simple truth. Education has always been about more than acquisition of facts and figures. Historically, education has been the means by which we have wrought greater opportunities for our communities and our children. It has provided the means by which we have fought for social and political and economic equality. And quite frankly, it has been the means by which we have sought to attain physical, psychological, and spiritual freedom. Indeed, our destiny has been tied to our educational achievement. So it was a very good and thought-provoking discussion. On Friday, February 21st, the Peralta Association of African American Affairs held its Chancellor's Recognition Celebration at Merritt College. And at the event, we honored Chancellor Regina Stanback Stroud and paid homage to some of the pioneering figures of Peralta, including Albert Harrison, Odell Johnson, Wise Allen, Elihu Harris, Eric Gravenberg, Donald Godbold, and Evelyn Wesley. We also had the opportunity to welcome home Dr. Maria Lane Burns, who had been away from Merritt College for an extended period of time. So to say the least, it was an honor and pleasure to be in the company of such esteemed men and women. Speaking of esteemed women, I also want to congratulate the Merritt College Lady T-Bird women's basketball team. The Lady T-Birds finished the season with an overall record of 15-13 and a conference record of 11-12, but the Lady T-Birds finished the season in a first-place three-way tie as the 2019-2020 Bay Valley Conference champions. So happy about that. Hey, you give it up, give it up. These young ladies overcame a lot of adversity this year. They started the season 1-9, but they finished out the last 18 games with a record of 14-4. And I think this is a testament to the leadership of their coach, Coach Armand Gray. And just a couple things about some of the student athletes. Sophomores Zakiya Willis and Anaya McFadden were voted all conference. And first-year players Deani Richner, Etienne Akanum, Dominique Seymour, and Michaela Simon were all voted honorable mention. Finally, On Friday, February 21st, I had the honor of presenting the Academic Achievement Award at the Oakland Police Department's 183rd Academy ceremony. 32 cadets took their oath and received their badges that morning. But for the past several years, Merritt College has provided educational instruction to the cadets as they pursue their aspirations of becoming law enforcement officers. Miss Margaret Dixon, a retired Oakland Police Department officer and administration of justice instructor, has been the one most responsible for making that happen. So allow me just to say a few brief words about her. She didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. So Miss Dixon, and I call her Miss because she commands that level of respect and admiration from me, has been the program director of Merritt's AJ department for nearly 15 years. She came to Merritt after a distinguished 25-year career with the Oakland Police Department. She is also well known and much appreciated for her volunteer work with the Oakland Police Activities League Track Club, an organization she founded 35 years ago. As a personal note, last year my 6-year-old twin started running for Oakland POW. And to watch my daughter gain so much confidence and my son derive so much joy from their time with her has always made my heart full. So at Merritt, she trains and leads our team of student safety aides, and over the years she has organized numerous trainings, conferences, and community outreach events on our campus. Put simply, she is the heart and conscience of Merritt College. But after such a distinguished career, she has recently decided to retire after this semester. So I just wanted to take time this evening to acknowledge and celebrate her. So if you're watching this at home, Ms. Dixon, we love and appreciate you.
All right, greetings from the island. I'll have 2 items for you tonight. One is on the pathway of athletics and basketball in particular, but on the men's side, our men's team had a really great winning streak of 8 games ending our season, and we just got the news today from our athletic director, Linda Thompson, who's doing a wonderful job, that we have made the regional playoffs. So we have our first regional conference game tomorrow at COA, so we're the host, at 7 o'clock against our rivals across the bay, CSM Bulldogs. My former place as a faculty member, so it'll be great to see us squash the Bulldogs. And I'm sure we'll do great things. So our team has not made the playoffs probably in a decade. So it's a real turning point for our athletics team and our men's basketball team, who are doing a remarkable job this year. So we are so proud of them. And then the next item I wanted to give an example of, we talk a lot about community partnerships and how important community is, of course, here in Peralta. And I wanted to lift up a program that's been kind of brewing over the last couple of years, and just to give some insight on how hard work in planting seeds has good growth later on. And so about 2 years ago, out of our adult ed program, our Associate Dean, Parla Armstead, and the Transition Liaison Officer, Nicole Kelly, had started working with 2 community partners here in the Fruitvale area, Las Casas and the Spanish-speaking Citizens Foundation, to start offering non-credit ESOL courses, because we just started doing that curricular work. And so about 2 years ago, in fall of 2018, we offered our first non-credit ESOL at their locations, and we had about 62 students partake in those courses. And now this past fall, just a year later, we had 193 students. And so that's individual students, unduplicated, so it's something that is growing. So that's one of those ideas: when you go out in the community and you're a good partner and you show you're vested in them, you get that return. And so I just really want to give shout outs to the program and then also the faculty for going through that work and creating the non-credit curriculum that was critically in need. And this is showing the need was there once we created that curriculum. So I really want to, I'm so proud of them and their work. So that's it.
Chancellor?
Thank you. That concludes my report.